Welcome to the Four Bells and workout from home number 96. As we start our new cycle, workout from home 95 was focused on leg strength and leg mobility. Today we're taking a step away from that and we are looking at some upper body work, in particular upper body pressing or pushing, however you like to look at it. So we're going to start off today with three things to get us ready for our strength work today. We're going to start off with some shoulder dislocates. We're going to do those for 10 reps. I have to double check. Maybe you need a band or a PVC pipe or a belt. From there, it's going to be some Hindu push-ups for 5 reps. We should be picking some easy levels out of the 4 that we have here at the gym. Should be a nice gentle warm-up, not too vigorous. And then from there, the scorpion, looking at trying to open up the shoulders as well as rotation through the spine. We're going to do that 5 per side. From there, we then do it for 2 more rounds. We're doing these 3 things 3 times in the warm-up today. That's off with a shoulder dislocate. You can use a PVC pipe or a broomstick. I recommend a band if you've got particularly tight shoulders, as the band has a bit more give to it and it's a little bit nicer. So starting with the hands at the end of the band, the intention should be, as we're doing our 10 reps and across our 3 rounds, is to slowly bring the hands closer and closer together. So coming over, touching the low back or the bum, keeping the abs nice and tight. From there with the Hindu push-up, we are going to have our knees at the end of our mat, down into that chance pose position, and start off nice and easy. We can do level 1, which means forearms do not touch, elbows point at the knee, we pull ourselves forwards, hips down, we push up, dig those toes in, hips up to the ceiling. If we want to make it a bit more spicy, it can be forearms down, nose a bit closer, pulling ourselves smoothly forwards, we push up and into that downward facing dog position. Either way should be pretty nice for 5 reps. Last but not least, we come into the scorpion. With the scorpion, I'm going to have my hands out to my side and I'm going to bring my right foot over to my left hand and then my left foot over to my right hand. Trying to keep the chest as low as possible, reaching with the foot as much as possible from side to side for 10 total reps in our 3-round warm-up today. In today's strength piece, we are focusing on upper body pushing. We have 4 sets today. Each set is going to be 4.5 minutes long, split into 3 90-second windows of time. In our first 90 seconds, we are going to be doing diamond push-ups, sometimes called a close grip push-up. We're going to bring the hands in and really overload the triceps and the pecs today. If you're looking at this thinking to yourself, well, I don't know if I have a regular push-up, don't worry about it, it can still be done in any scaled variation. Today, depending on how you're feeling, we're going to shoot for 12, but if 12 gets a bit spicy, we can bring it back down to 10, but no less than 10. From there into our next 90 seconds, we are going to do some prone scapular retractions. We're going to do 20 reps of those. I'll show you how to do them on the floor, and also show you how they can be done on a bench as well. These can be done with just body weight or with very light weights. Last but not least, we're going to do a plank march for 45 seconds. The idea behind the plank march is work on a little bit of abdominal engagement, a little bit of anti-rotation, and a little bit of shoulder stability. Let's talk about these 3 exercises. Diamond push-up, I'm looking to make a diamond with the hands. Sometimes we talk about making a heart with the hands for I heart push-ups, but what we're going to think about today is even if we're doing a scaled version, I want to set my hands up so they're in that diamond position. So I'm just going to move them slightly back if I'm on the edge of a box or a chair or any kind of stair. From here, keeping your hands close, that means that when I'm in this position, just because the hands are pointing in, it does not mean the elbows are flaring out. We still want to make sure that the elbows stay nice and tight to the body. So chest to the hands and we press away. So of course, if we can do it on a box, then of course we move onto the floor and the same rules apply. Diamond position with the hands, chest down to the hands, elbows stay close. And we are going to do 10 to 12 diamond push-ups. The prone scapular retraction, what we're trying to do is get a lot of work in for the back of the shoulders, the scapula, the rear delts, trying to make sure we've got nice healthy shoulders. So I'm going to start by just laying down on the floor and I'm going to bring my hands out and I'm going to have my thumbs pointing up to the ceiling. From there I'm going to arch up slightly and we're going to raise those arms up. So what I'm going to do is raise up, relax. Raise up, squeeze and relax. I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together in that letter T for 20 total reps. This can be done with body weight or it can be done with holding on to 2 small plates. And let's take a very quick look at how this could look if you were doing it on a bench, which would include an extended range of motion. If you have got a bench, you can either do it completely flat or maybe even just a slight incline, still with the thumbs up. You could be holding on to small weights, and we're still going to work on that scapular retraction. All we're finding is that with the bench, we're a little bit higher up, so we have a greater range of motion. Plank march, we're going to set ourselves up in a hands on the floor, straight arm plank position. So that means I'm going to have my hands directly below the shoulders. And because in a second I'm going to do a little march with the hands, all I need to know is I'm going to have my feet a little bit wider than normal, because when I take that hand off the floor, I'm going to have a big rotational component. So I'm going to make sure that I give myself a little bit of a wider base of support. From here, one hand comes out, we replace the hand. Hand comes out, we replace the hand. So it should be a full second with that hand out, nice and smooth and controlled. We're trying to minimize wiggle with the hips for 45 seconds. Today's conditioning piece is a 12-minute AMRAP, 720 seconds of fun. We're going to start our AMRAP today. Each round is going to start with a 200-meter run. So I'm going to try and encourage you to actually get outside and go running if you can. So if you can work it out, maybe you can use a website of some kind like Map My Run. You can work out where 100 meters away from your house is, turn around and come back. Once I've done my run, or if you don't really want to run, you could do some kind of alternative, maybe some jumping jacks, maybe rolling or skiing for the same amount of distance. We are then going to come into 12 body weight sit-ups. So we're not going to add weight to it today, just body weight. From there, we're going to do some dumbbell plank rows. We'll be doing 12 total reps, 6 per arm. And then last but not least, push-up with a toe touch. We're going to be doing those for 12 reps as well, which means 6 touches of each toe. This is one round. Let's see how many times we can do it in 12 minutes, and let's take a look at those exercises. So our first exercise is running. So of course, if you can run away from your house, your apartment, whatever it is, for 100 meters, turn around and come back, fantastic. If you can't, you could do 200 meters on a rowing machine. You could do 400 meters on a bike. We usually double the distance on a bike. Or maybe you could do 20 to 50 jumping jacks and see how they feel. So of course, once our run is done, we're going to come into our sit-ups. With our sit-ups, we like to do them vampire style here, which means about a 90-degree bend in the knee. I'm going to cross the arms over like I was a vampire. I lay down, all the way down. We sit up, elbows to the knees, and we are going to do that for 12 delightful reps. The plank row is very similar to the plank march in the sense that we're going to have 3 points of contact on the floor. There are differences in the plank march. Obviously, we have our hand out in front. With the plank row, we should be rowing a big, heavy weight. So, of course, that means if the weight's heavy, we've got to brace more through the abs and make sure we do not wiggle around. So I set the feet up a little bit wider than hip width. I'm going to drive the elbow back, smooth placement to the floor. Drive the elbow back, smooth placement to the floor. And we are going to do 6 per side, 12 total, making sure we don't do anything weird, like bringing the bum up in the air, bringing the dumbbells to the toes, trying to keep everything nice and strict and beautiful. Do you remember down dog toe touches from the warm-up in workout from home number 95? That's right, the previous one. We are going to do something very similar. We are going to look at working on shoulder stability, shoulder mobility, spinal mobility, and a little bit of flexibility for the posterior chain, as well as working on our push-ups. So if we can, I'm going to be in my push-up position. I'm going to perform a push-up, and then as I get to the top of my push-up, I bring the hips up, touch my right hand to my left toe. That's 1 rep. Push-up, left hand to right toe. That's 2 reps. And we're going to repeat that for 12 total reps. All I would say is, if you find that regular push-ups on the toes are a little bit hard for you, just find whatever scaling works best and don't worry about the toe touch. So when it comes to our conditioning piece today, we have a 12-minute AMRAP, 200-meter run, 12 sit-ups, 12 plank rows, and 12 push-ups with a toe touch. Have fun, move fast, and let us know how you get on.